You guys are performing tonight at Roseland. Thank you very much for stopping by our
Please.
Green Room, sponsored by Lazy Boy. Of a Revolution, where did that come from, and what made you decide to do O.A.R. instead of a name title, a word title?
Well, the band name came one day. We were in the basement of our drummer's house, his mom's house, and we needed a name of the band. We were about 16 or 17 years old, just starting to really put this band together. Three of us had already been together, but I came downstairs and I was writing at the time like a short story, and one sentence really stood out to me, and it was blank of a revolution. And the reason I say blank is because we got to have one mystery in our career, so the audience doesn't know what that means. But of a revolution, we just felt like we were playing a different kind of music, and I think it was based on the fact that I didn't know many chords. I didn't know technique, so we just played with feel. Everything was feel. None of us were trained musicians. So we thought this was a change, this was new. It was of a revolution, and it was for us. And we were just kids at the time. There was no audience, nothing. So I think that it was really pure in coming up with that name. And we shortened it to O.A.R. because people had a lot of trouble saying the band name, writing the band name, advertising the band name. So when people started actually coming to concerts, we had to shorten it down.
And have you ever lost vision of a revolution? Have you ever lost the vision of how you got started in the first place?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, in every career or every lifetime, there are times where you veer off the path.
Right.
We've had short bursts of times where maybe we felt too much pressure, or maybe we kind of may have gotten lost at some point, but I think that we most definitely never went too far. And we always knew to bring it back because we're surrounded by family to tell us what's going on.
Yeah. It's always a learning experience, too, because once you get to that point and you realize that you're kind of straying away, it's just like, what am I doing, and we always come back home. So.
And it sounds like that's how you guys were raised, by your parents.
Yeah.
To always find that center, to always find that place that you called home and always return back even if you got lost. I mean, how important was that while you were struggling musicians?
I mean, look, all of our parents provided us with a fantastic childhood, They gave us a great place to live, good public schools, everything we needed to thrive. But it wasn't the case for them. They all had to struggle and earn what they got, So the first lesson when we grew up was just because you have a nice place to live, just because, you might have all the food and all the things you need, does not mean that you don't have to earn it. And that stuck with all of us. And I think throughout our entire career, we've expected our employees or our peers to work just as hard as we do, because it's a family out there. And our crew guys there's no difference between band members, crew members. I mean, it's just a family. So what we learned as children, we take into our own career, and then we'll pass on to our children.
Good for you. Don't you find, though, that there is this sense of entitlement in this country of ours now? That,
yeah.
I mean,
big time. There's a sense of entitlement to the point where, a few 20, 21-year-olds I know now, they want to get that great job immediately. And I just don't see it being that's how it even should be. If someone came to me after college and said, here's $1 million record deal, make some records or whatever it may be, I would still want to go out and tour all the time because I'd want to earn it, And I don't know that that's a completely lost characteristic. I don't think so, obviously. But in some cases, yeah, we gotta kick them and remind them, let's earn it.
I mean, how do you make shortcuts as a musician, going from just starting to being really good?
American Idol.
Right.
And I got no problem with that Pro Tools. I got no problem with American Idol. These days in the record industry, what's good for the goose, good for the gander. I hope all those kids sell a ton of records, because it'll keep this thing alive. What I wonder about is the record deals that they're getting. I don't know that they've been told or taught that these may not be the best deals in the world. But at the end of the day, I love watching them grow. And I think that even in that short span of time, as a musician, you have to grow, and they'll weed you out. And being in a band like we are, it's kind of like a 10-year-long American Idol where they'll weed you out if you can't hang.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's pretty cool. So, yeah.
We're still hanging.
Yeah, still hanging.
You are. Still hanging strong, I might add, too. I mean,
like
you
the
guys
new
are still
kids,
going
man.
strong. Would you talk briefly about your experience overseas with our American soldiers and what kind of an impact that had on your personal lives and your musical lives?
Yeah. First of all, it was an amazing experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, and I can't wait to go back. Whenever we get a free chance to go back over there, we definitely will. For me, it was a complete emotional roller coaster. You know, it was 1 minute things would be great, and then the next thing you know, there's a rocket attack on the base. And guys are getting hurt and stuff like that. And I think for me, whether you believe in the war, you don't believe in whatever your opinion is, just going over there, I think would give anyone they would think twice about how they felt about the war. And for me, it just opened my eyes to all the good things that are happening over there, all the great girls and guys over there that are serving us and keeping things safe.
So is it possible to support our troops and not support the war?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I do.
Absolutely.
I think fundamentally war is wrong. It's a disgusting habit that we have as human beings. But you know what? It's a human being habit. I mean, throughout time, war has been the answer for so many things. Break it down to fighting in the schoolyard over a cookie. We're taught that and for some reason, you need to take what you want. And I don't think that's the way it should be. However, our troops, they're doing a job. 18 years old, that's their job. And you got to support that because it's a hard job. It's much harder than anything we're doing. But I think war, I just don't get it. I really don't. I understand the philosophy behind what we're doing, and I support completely these troops, and I support the people of Iraq who certainly need help now. But I don't know how much help they needed back then. So I guess it's just kind of like, yes, it is possible to not support the war, but support our troops because we've gone there and done it.
Yeah. No, that's great that you did that, and I'm sure the impact you had on their lives was remarkable as well. Just knowing that someone gives a damn over in this country, over there, which I'm sure they don't see that often.
Well, look, we got experiences where we're standing on an airfield and some senators land and they bring out the whole charade. The Suburbans, the Humvees checking for IEDs on the airstrip when there's no IEDs on the base, And we're standing with soldiers who are saying, you know what, the problem is when they come here, they bring cameras. When you come here, you come for us. And they're not stupid people. They know that certain folks want to come and just entertain. We're entertainers. Okay, we're not politicians. I don't know the first thing about being a politician. So...
Yeah. No, that's very cool you did that. Talk a little bit about the new album coming out next month.
Yeah. The new record, All Sides, coming out July 15th. It's a collection of just straight up O.A.R. songs. I mean, we wrote, recorded, performed these songs in a room as if we were just sitting in here playing, And that's really what it's all about. That's why we call it All Sides, because it truly gets an angle on everything we do.
Including your visit overseas.
Yeah, including our visit with War Song.
And, July 15th isn't that far away either.
No.
Oh, man.
Pretty soon your new baby's going to be out.
I know.
O.A.R. tonight at Roseland. Check them out. You will not be disappointed. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks.